the chairman of Desert Herald newspaper and magazine. Okay, sir, my first question is, what are your reflections on the past before Nigeria clocks at 60?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to first of all congratulate the initiators of this important platform. I think it cannot come. It is coming at the right time in the history of our country, and I believe it will go a long way in sensitizing, educating, enlightening Nigerians, especially about our peculiar problems, facing this country today. It is indeed a few days now to yet another independent anniversary of Nigeria, and as a country, we're supposed to be celebrating achievements of the past, and we're supposed to be celebrating our leaders. But if you look at the whole system as it is now, and going back to your initial question, I think we will say a big thank you to the past leaders, especially from the days of Sardauna, the initiators, the strugglers of our independence, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, and the rest. They have done a lot of sacrifice for this country, and they have invested, their intellect and virtually even their own lives, to ensure that this country stands. And they have done so much that even today's generation is feeling the impact of their good leadership and dedication to service. And it is common knowledge, and everybody will agree with me, that if the foundation they have laid in the past has been sustained to this time, 2020, I think Nigeria will have been the best country, or one of the best countries in the world, in terms of virtually everything. But the fact that the successors, those that have benefited from the leadership foresight of the Sardaunas, have not emulated, their quality of leadership. We have a country that is almost collapsing today. So, in essence, I want to say, a big thank you to those leaders for their sacrifice, for their contribution to the country, and they have done what our generation and the other generation have failed woefully to do. They have failed woefully to achieve. That is my assessment. In all, even though there may be little shortcomings here and there, but you can't say anything than to give them a pass mark, the past leaders of this country. Yeah.
Okay. Our second question is, what are the hopes for the future in Nigeria at 60?
To us, as it is, I can tell you quite confidently that if the kind of leadership we have today will continue to emerge in this country, I'm sorry to say the future is not really very certain for even the present generation, not to talk of the coming ones. Because what we have is a road, is a system that has completely failed. We have leaders, that preach sanity, leaders that preach good governance, leaders, that say a lot of good things, but in demonstration, in practice, they don't put it into practice. Especially, I can tell you from 2015 to date, the expectation of Nigerians, is very high. We have elected leaders that we believe they can change the system, they can change the road, the corruption. But unfortunately, things are even getting worse in this country. And there is no sign from now to 2023 that anything will change for the better, especially for the common man of this country. You can take analysis of the whole system, the economy, the security aspect, food security, everything in this country. It is going from bad to worst. It is going from bad to worst. And the basic problem we have is lack of political will. It's lack of, a strong leader, that can look at things holistically and then govern in the interest of the people. And that is why you have virtually all the states, governors, are virtually doing the way they want, because they realize that even the leadership at the top, is not up and doing, and there is virtually nothing that can be done, especially in the area of, corruption, which has even become unprecedented over the last 5-6 years. Security boards have been mismanaged, and that is why even the initial 6 months, assurance that they will eliminate Boko Haram could not be achieved over 5 years now. And then everybody is suffering in this country today. So in my own view, I think what we're supposed to do this time around, especially this time around, is not to even celebrate Nigerians' independence. Is to go back, reflect our conduct as leaders, as citizens, ask Allah for forgiveness, adjust our own shortcomings, and then pray to Allah to give us the quality of leader that will change things for the better in this country. Because our greatest mistakes, even as citizens, is that we believe that in one man, everything can change in this country. We believe that he has the power to do even more than what Allah will do. And Allah has really tested us with that kind of a person. So it is important for the citizens of the country now to realize that during the last 5 years we have made mistakes. We have made mistakes. It is important to always go back to Allah and look for, the right choice, not to, equate a human being with Allah, or to even presume that he can even perform magic, So it is important for us to make sure that, these mistakes that we have done in the past has been corrected. Then our leaders should also fear Allah. Whatever they have accumulated at the expense of the poor, they will not live to enjoy it. We have seen good examples even recently. People that are, very close to power, people that we see they have amassed so much wealth, Allah has taken their life instantly and they are no more today. Whatever they must have accumulated in terms of material, in terms of worldly destiny, they will go on account before Allah, and they didn't even enjoy it. Allah did not even give them good health when they are in this world. So it is important for everybody to know that there is no way as a human being you can manipulate Allah. You can never manipulate Allah. You don't even have the sense to do that. Whatever you will do, you will just be deceiving yourself. So it is important for us to know that you can do whatever you want to do as a human being, but Allah has a very simple plan for you that can destroy virtually everything you have planned. And it is not going down well for all of them. Only that, most of them did not even understand. Because how can you imagine a situation whereby this wealth is supposed to be for the benefit of 200 million people? one or two people will now divert this thing, and then you expect Allah to allow you to live in peace, or your family to live in peace. They cannot live in peace. So the earlier we understand that, the better. Whatever you have, no matter how little, I think it is important for you to utilize that for the good of the society and for the good of everybody. If you are a leader, you have to use that resources for the benefit of the people. It cannot stop you from becoming rich if Allah wants you to be rich. But the most important thing is the comfort of mind. If you didn't do that, Allah will not give you the comfort of mind. So we hope that what happened recently, especially the series of deaths we have seen, will serve as a lesson to our leaders and even the citizens as well. And then for the president, I have a very simple message for him. He is almost getting to 80 years now. And then this is almost the last leg of his mandate, 8 years. So even though it is getting too late, he has a chance again to yet again prove himself by way of reorganizing himself, reorganizing the cabinet, especially the current service chiefs. They need to be sacked. They need to be investigated, because I can tell you quite confidently that they are all tips. I can tell you quite confidently that there is a lot of corruption in the management of our security funds, and I can tell you quite confidently that a lot of soldiers on the battlefield are just victims of corruption. They have not been supplied with the necessary weapons. Very few people are diverting the resources, because we don't have, somebody on top that will address this kind of excesses. So the president has a chance to correct so many things. To say that in the current structure of Nigerian military that we don't have competent people that will take over these places, is very wrong. We have a lot of good officers. We have a lot of dedicated officers with the zeal, with the patriotism, with the determination, to perform. He has to bring them on board so that these expired commodities can be eased out. That is my advice for the president also.
Okay, thank you, sir. Our dear listeners, we come to an end of our exclusive interview. Stay tuned to our next topic. I am Umar Abdullahi from MPH Radio. Masalam.